writing me, and I didn't give them nicknames. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Talent Love, and I'm back again for the second time today with another juicy story time, y'all. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and throw it out there just so it's no surprises here, which I'm pretty sure you see by the title. It's gonna be more than one part. I know y'all want to see all the story times together, but this one a little too juicy just to put in one. I think this one might be juicier than my last story time, so I'm gonna keep y'all coming back. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you have not already subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe. What are you waiting for? Join the Glam Squad. Join the Glam Squad. You're welcome here. It's lit over here all the time, and yeah, I'm telling you, you're gonna enjoy every single video thoroughly. And if not, and you only enjoy one type of video, then I'll give you several other types of that video, so you'll never be bored over here. So yeah, go ahead before I jump into this story time and give me a glittery pink thumbs up. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the story time, because yeah, I know y'all don't like the wait. I don't like the wait either. So this is, I'm gonna relax into this one. This story time is about my crackhead ass roommates, okay? Y'all, oh my God. I have been waiting and sitting on this goddamn story for a long ass time. Like, it's been a while. I've been waiting for the right time, and now is the right time. So boom, here's where it starts at. So I used to rent a house. I was renting a house for about a year at one point, okay? And it was a single family home. It had a full-on front yard, a full-on backyard, driveway, all of that. It had 2 floors, and it had a basement, and then in the basement, it had a laundry room, a bathroom, a whole living room, fireplace, a separate room down there, and I'm trying to think. And then there was a door to go to the backyard. So, also with that being said, upstairs, the laundry room's in the basement too. So in the second floor upstairs where you walked into, you had the living room. There was 3 rooms up there, and there was a kitchen up there and a bathroom. So it's only 1 bathroom upstairs, 1 bathroom downstairs. In the backyard there was a pool, and we couldn't really use it because it never really got cleaned out. So the landlord, he was really cool, okay? And he wasn't much of a person that like kept up with things around the house or whatever, because he was busy. Like, he wasn't one of those landlords that just like doesn't work and, you know, whatever. He had like a ton of properties and he worked, so he couldn't really upkeep. And it was cool. It was fine by me, because as long as it's not like, I don't know, rats and whatever everywhere, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I can clean and it's a nice, decent, livable space, I don't need like extra extreme things to like make me, you know, whatever. Moving on. My name was on this lease. So how I moved into this house was, my cousin, his name used to be on the lease first, and it was him and 2 roommates that he had, a boy and a girl. The boy ended up moving out, and they were all going to move into a condo, but the boy decided that he didn't want to go. So I told my cousin, I said, well, I want to go then. So there was a time between the time we were going to the condo and the time that I was moving out of where I was living. So I came and stayed with them for that little bit of time. Then my cousin decided that he could not do like heights anymore. The condo was too high. It was built really funny where like our part of the condo, like our 2 stories were like 3rd and 4th floor, and he just really couldn't do it due to anxiety. So we were like, okay, cool, we'll just stay here until we find somewhere else. So they ended up finding another place really fast, but in order for me to go to that place, I would have had to give away my cats, in which if I knew I was going to give my cat away anyway, I would have done it. But yeah, I would have had to give away my cat, which you guys saw in my Survivor My 20s videos. That was my baby's in. So they went ahead and moved, and my cousin asked the landlord, can he put my name on the lease? And my landlord was like, sure, whatever. So my name went on the lease, and I signed a year-long lease or whatever. And then after the year, it went on to month to month. So before my cousin left, he helped me look for 2 roommates because he's really skilled at looking for roommates. I wasn't. And I typically, back then, now it's not the same, but back then I felt like I had a bad judge of character. Like, I always thought the good, like the best of people or whatever, and then like they do something crazy and I just never really saw it coming because, yeah, like I'm the most chill person ever. So it's just like, why would you, like, why would drama ensue or come out of nowhere if like I'm not creating it? So yeah, that's the type of person I am. So I already knew I was a bad judge of character at that time. So I told my cousin, I was like, you go ahead and you can you choose them for me? He was like, sure, you just interview them with me so that way I'll show you how I do it. And he had like roommate agreements to sign and all of that. So he had got chosen a boy and a girl, and we were all on the upstairs level. Okay, so there was 3 rooms upstairs, so we all took up the upstairs level, and the basement, no, actually me and the girl were on the upstairs level and the boy was in the basement room. Okay, so we're going to give them names. The boy's name, we're going to call him Romaine, and then the girl, we're going to call her Jane. Okay, so Romaine, he doesn't get a story time because the way Romaine left, he was like very, he left on good terms. But Jane, though, Jane is going to get some story times, baby, later on down the line. So you want to remember Jane later, but this ain't about Jane. Okay, this is before Jane's issues started. All of this is before Jane's issues started. So y'all about to get the gist on why the hell this was a long year, a long ass year. Okay, so Jane, Romaine, and I were having a conversation one night, and we talked about like having other people move in, but I just never really wanted too many people in. So anyway, Romaine ended up, like, me and Romaine had to part ways, and Romaine went on his way and whatnot. So me and Jane, we paid the rent, but it was like really a struggle for Jane, and I couldn't really understand why, because she made enough money. But you know, you can't really dictate how other people's money is and where it's going and all of this stuff. So we're just going to leave that there for now. So we decided that we wanted to look for other roommates. So I was like, all right, cool, this is what we're going to do. So Jane was like recommending her friends, and I was like, no, I don't want it to be friends, because like, I don't know, I just sometimes, like, when one act up, the other one act up. So anyway, I ended up going with friends anyway. So there were these 2 girls that were online, and it was the one girl, she was writing me on Facebook Marketplace. That's what I used, which that's what my cousin used. Okay, like, disclaimer, don't you ever use Facebook Marketplace to find a roommate. Okay, don't you ever do it. Do it if you're looking for someone, but if you're someone, do it if you're looking for someone to live with. But if you're someone looking for someone to live with you, don't you dare. Okay, so I'm online, you know, and the girl's writing me, and I didn't give them nicknames. Okay, so I gave them nicknames. So we're gonna call the first one Curly. So Curly was writing me or whatever, and just speaking to me, and you know, just asking me could she come by and see it, and telling me she had a friend named Slim, that they're not a couple, they just stick together and look out for each other and all of that stuff. So I was like, okay. And they're like, well, when can we come by and see it? This is Curly speaking to me, right? And then I'm like, okay, I give them the time of day, they can come see it. So Curly and Slim come by the house and come see the house. So I interviewed them, and right off the bat, like, I noticed that I don't know, I felt like they were kind of dating because Slim looked kind of like she might like girls. She had like a bob and a shortcut. And by the way, there's no way for anybody to ever find out who these people are. So yeah, but yeah, so Slim had like a bob and was like just really like butch, kind of like tomboy, like might crack a beer open, might, you know, be playing the banjo downstairs, whatnot. Okay, so yeah, so that was the aesthetic of them. Curly had curly hair, and she looked like she just was like always like fast talking and like, yeah, this and that, like talking really, really fast. Anything I would try to explain to them, it's just like, yep, 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 trying to like make you be quiet. And I'm like, okay, maybe she's like just anxious or whatnot. So I was asking her for a reference, and she was like, oh, the last person I lived with was my cousin, and it's just not working out. She's trying to tell me what to do and charge me more rent from what I started with, and we help her fix up the place, and she still wants to charge us more rent, and blah 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 blah. So I'm just like, and you guys, it should have been a red flag, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna rent out the deal was they were gonna rent out the entire basement, okay, since Romaine had left. So remember the basement, there's the living room, the laundry room, the you know, the separate room and all of that. So there was no door that led from the top to the bottom, so they knew that. I did not put on the ad that I had a cat. However, when they got there, I let them know, hey, there's a cat here, because I was like, you try to remember everything to put on the ad, but then you don't, like you forget some things. So I was like, hey, there's a cat here, and I was like, he does roam up and down and everywhere, so just keep your bed things in your bedroom. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna share our bedroom, and we're gonna put our living room stuff in the living room. So I'm like, all right, cool. For whatever reason, my cat, he would like, if you leave anything on the door, he would use the on the floor, he would use the bathroom on it. Okay, I don't know why he did that, he just did. He would use the bathroom on mats and rugs, and it's almost like he was marking his territory. But because I had another cat before him, but I had got rid of this cat before they came, and I'll tell y'all about that later too. So anyway, he was stuck marking his territory. However, he never did it in the living rooms, on couches, or anything like that, because he loved living rooms, he loved couches, and he was a shady kitty. So if it was something or area he liked to lay in, it wasn't happening. So when me and the other roommates figured that out, we all kept our doors closed, and we kept the bathroom doors closed because we put rugs down in the bathroom. So keep that in mind. So I let them know of that, and they were like, oh, it's totally fine, we love cats, and blah 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 blah. So I was like, all right, cool. So the type of jobs they had was Curly, she worked at like an auto shop, you know what I mean, and she just, y'all, she just really had this aesthetic like she might have recovered from being on drugs, and that's fine and dandy, no discrimination on that. Everybody's not the same, but it just, she just had that feel. And then what do we call her? Curly and Slim? Yes, okay, so Slim worked as a waitress. So I was like, all right, cool. Those were their jobs. Okay, and last but not least, I told them about the landlord. I was like, okay, he's like in and out. He doesn't mind that I like sublease and like add other people, which he's all like, he told all of us, he's like, I don't care, you know, you're in charge, your name's on the lease. As long as I get my rent, I don't care. So I was like, you know, he's in and out or whatever, but I control everything, you know, I take the money, give it to him, and all of those things. And I was like, he doesn't, and when I was showing them the backyard, I was like, there's a pool back here, he doesn't take care of it, so we can't really swim. I was like, he doesn't really cut the trees and stuff back here. And you guys, the trees were big as I don't know what, like big and tall, but I did keep the grass cut, obviously we did, and we will all split the grass fee every 2 weeks, which was like $40, and we would all just split it with whoever lived in the house at the time. So boom, they got the whole layout. Okay, so moving day comes, and they set up with me that they're paying their deposit in 3 installments. Okay, and I think their deposit was their first month's rent, so their rent was going to be $750 or $950, $450, something like that, where they paid $450 each, I think it was, or $400, something like that. So yeah, they had to pay their rent or their down payment in installments because they just didn't really have it like that. And I understood. I was like, all right, cool. So they paid their installment and they asked me, could they move in a day earlier before Romaine was moving out? And I was like, well, he's not going to be out. And Curly was like, please, I just need a corner. She told me to be out. My cousin told me to be out by this date. Can I just please come? And I said, okay, sure. So I think they were supposed to move in on the 3rd or the 2nd. And Romaine wasn't leaving until then, but they were trying to come by the 1st because their cousin was like, they had to be out. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So they all started moving their stuff in. Now, they had a lot of stuff, but then they brought like a door. And I was like, a door? And so here's where the shenanigans start. So they come first, when they came, their friend was like moving their stuff in. Everything that they didn't move in, they left in the driveway on this little like connector piece that connects to the back of a truck. And it had, before they put the door in, the door was left outside with all this crap, and they left it in the driveway. And I had a problem with that because I parked there, Romaine was still there, Jane was still there. We all parked there, and we all knew who left first in the morning, who left last, who came home first, who came last. So we had our parking situation all worked out with an extra spot where if one of them, because Slim had a car, not Curly, if Slim wanted to park, there was a 4th spot for her. But their little truck bed took up everything where only one car could squeeze in, and we just didn't like parking on the street. Like, we just didn't. So, and sometimes it didn't happen while we were there, but when my cousin was there, I seen the street have flooded up to the car before, so it was just safer in the driveway. So we were just like, what the hell? So me and Jane are like, what is going on? Like, we can't really park. What is going on? So I finally sent a text message after 3 days of them having that there, and I was like, hey, this is the first incident. I'm like, hey, you know, can you guys like move your stuff in, or what's going on? They're like, oh, we're sorry. This is Curly. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, my friend left it here and he's gonna come help us get the stuff out. I hope it's okay, you know. And I was like, yeah, okay, it just needs to be gone by morning because we have other roommates that live here, and I really try to keep things comfortable for other roommates, you know what I mean? It's going to be mishaps that happen, but I think all in all, things should be comfortable for each roommate to do what they need to do in their living space and be successful, save their money, whatever, and get the hell out, period. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna move it. It took her like 2-3 days. She didn't move it that same day or the next day like she promised. So mishap number 1. To me, in my mind, I was like, okay, cool, I could see that she's already inconsiderate. I could see that. Okay, so here goes the second incident. We already, you guys, sis ain't even been here a week at this point. Not even a week. So my bedroom, the window was facing the backyard, okay? And in the backyard, like, you could go out from the basement or you could go out through the kitchen, and you could go and, you know, just hang out back there, whatever. There was a bench back there, a picnic table, and whatever have you. So she's out there with her boyfriend and her friend who helped her move in, who was like an older guy or whatever. So they're out there talking or whatever. Now, let me tell you, Curly and Slim are Caucasians, okay? Curly's boyfriend was black and Curly's friend was an older Caucasian male. So they're outside talking, Curly, her boyfriend, and the guy that helped them move in. And my window always stay cracked, okay? Because I like a breeze, I like air, I like fans rolling all in my room. Yeah, this place that I live now is like the only place that I haven't really cracked the window because it's like usually hot outside now. But yeah, so I always keep my window cracked when I live there. So I heard them talking outside. I'm in there playing my Sims game, just relaxing and maxing because my stress was at an all-time high. It always is, like when I go into new situations or when like I'm surrounded by someone new, because I don't really know your mannerisms. I'm trying to get used to you, see how you move and lay low, and you know what I'm saying, just stay in my lane, period. So I'm like, just, you know, trying to stay calm, playing my game and whatever, just simming it up in my room. And I hear them talking. They're so loud. Well, she is. So they're just talking and they're like, yeah, you know, the shrubs are getting high and, you know, the trees are really high and blah, 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 blah. And she's just like, yeah, it's so ridiculous. Like, look at this. Wow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay here. Look at how this looks. Wow, this is crazy. And they're like, yeah, like something should have been done about this. And she was like, yeah, I don't know about this. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. Now, remember y'all, in the beginning, I said that I let her know that he don't cut the tree, none of that. We just do the grass and that's it. He doesn't come and do the stuff landlords are typically, all the extra little stuff that make it extra nice. He don't do that. So she's talking and I'm listening in my room, and y'all, I'm real chill. I'm real chill. But when it comes to certain like things like that, and I catch somebody like lying, I don't like that. And I'm the type of person, for the most part, if it's a situation where you're like just lying straight to me, I might let you think that I don't know that you're lying. But if you're lying to a group of people trying to make me look bad as if you didn't know, nah, dog. Nah, I'm gonna call you out in front of people, because we're just not doing that. That's the type of girl I am. So I hear them and I just like mosey on out back. And I stand next to them. They're in a row. And I stand next to them while they're talking. They don't even see me. And she was like, yeah, because blah, 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 blah. And I looked at her and I was like, yeah, exactly. And when I tell you, baby, she looked like she saw a ghost. She was like, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, remember, I was like, yeah, he doesn't keep it cut back here. This is just a place that you stay, get your stuff together and leave. He doesn't keep this together. We just cut the grass, and the trees, you know, they grow and then they fall apart in the winter and then they grow back slowly but surely in the summer. That's the cycle. Remember I told you that? Do you remember I told you that? And you said that it was okay? And she was just like, yeah, no, I understand. And her boyfriend was like, yeah, well, you know, he could get someone to come over and he shouldn't. I said, you know, honestly, he really could, but that's not what this is here. That's not what this is. I'm not about to call him, stress him about every petty little thing when the rent is already cheap for a single family home. I'm not doing that. I'm fine with living here. I'm just trying to get my stuff together, save my money, and get the hell on. Because at that point, I was headed toward moving to LA that June. So I was like, gotta get the hell on. Okay? So, yeah. And he just looked a little aggravated, and she was shook. She was shook. Because I'm like, what? No, nah, don't do that. Don't act like you didn't, like, no, we're not doing that. So I go back in my room and they ended up leaving immediately after. They just walked out the back gate and rolled out. So I go back in my room, I get dressed, I'm going to get food. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to confront her personally, because it's not even a weekend. And if that's how you really feel, then like, we could be cool, no issue. Here's your deposit back. Here's your rent back. You and Slim could find somewhere to go. Now, all this time, Slim is like at work. Slim was working really heavy at the beginning. So I called my cousin and I'm like, boo. So this is what happened, and I just feel like it's gonna be some issues. I feel like this ain't gonna be the only isolated issue. And he was like, yeah, boo, like, go ahead, get her out of here and just go ahead. He was like, you know what, just give her money back and tell her go ahead and go. Y'all rather be, you know, having Jane struggle a little financially than, you know, you get a headache of problems, because I just feel like something wrong. And I said, me too. So I text her and I'm like, hey Curly, when you get a chance, can we meet back at the house? And she was like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? I'm scared. And I was like, no reason to be scared. I just want to talk to you when I get a chance. She was like, oh, okay. So Curly comes in, and right shortly after that, Slim comes in too, and Slim's just observing and chilling and, you know, not reading too much into anything. So when Curly comes in, I'm like, hey Curly, I just wanted to touch bases with you because I know that you and I discussed one thing, but I heard you say another thing through the window to your boyfriend and your friend, and I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page, because if we're not, which I understand, I heard you say that, you know, you don't think that you could deal with how the shrubs look outside and the trees look outside, that I wanted to offer you your money back today and your rent, so that way you can go ahead and, you know, pack up and no harm, no foul, go ahead and find somewhere else that you feel more comfortable with, that you can actually stand living. And she was like, no, oh no, no, like, no, it's fine, it's fine. And I said, are you sure? She was like, no, we're gonna make it work, we're gonna make it work. And I said, because I really want to make sure that what you're saying to me is what it is, because I'm ready, I'm prepared to go and get the money right now. I can do that and it won't be any harm, any foul, I won't be upset. And she was like, no. And Slim was like, no, we're fine. And Slim's looking at her like, what the hell just happened? What are you doing? So she's like, no. And Slim's like, no, we're fine. And Curly's like, no, we're just fine, we're fine. I was just talking, and you know, he really should cut it and blah blah blah. And I said, he should, but he doesn't, and that's just what it is. And if that's not okay, I totally understand. For some people, an eyesore drives them insane. For some people, they really care about that type of stuff, and that's cool too. But this wasn't that type of situation, or you was going to be driving yourself crazy all the damn time, because he was just not going to do it. He wasn't. So she was like, no, it's fine, whatever. So, you know, she tries to switch the subject and just talk about life, whatever. I'm like, okay, we could be cool, whatever. Like, and I don't mean like cool, like I forgot what just happened. I mean cool, like, you know, I'm not about to just sit and harp on the same thing over and over again. So, you know, we just talk whatever, and that's the second incident within a week. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the story time here, because I think we're at maybe like 25 minutes or 26 minutes or something like that, and I'm gonna come back on another day with the rest of the story time. Oh, because baby, it get lit. Okay, so make sure you stay tuned for this. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna be back to back. No, it's not, because I have to drop the giveaway video, so make sure you're watching that, because if you do not contact me with your Cash App within 48 hours, it goes to the next person. So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Like I said, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment about, did y'all think I handled this in the right way, what y'all would have did in the situation, because I believe in confronting stuff head on when it's something like that. Okay, it's minor stuff, you just leave it alone or whatever, but no. So anyway, you guys, I love you guys so much, and until next time, stay fresh and stay fierce. Bye. Glam Girl out.